Hey you guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today is a video where I talk about the top priority books that I need to read. And not so much in 2018, but soonish? Like within the next year or two. Will that happen? I don't know, but I do happen to own 4 of those books. Soon to be 5 when I go to the store today, but that's really it. So this is in no particular order, but the first book that I have on this list actually came out a couple days ago and is one of the books I will be picking up. And that is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This follows a young teen who had recently come out as non-binary, and after they have been kicked out of their parents' home, they must now live with their estranged sister to kind of, live. And now that they are forced to meet to go to school and get settled again, they meet and eventually fall in love with another student. I don't remember who is who because I haven't looked at the synopsis in a long time. I only typically look at synopses once or twice. Typically when I pick up the book and then when I talk about when I haul it, and that's literally it. So that's all I do know about the book, but I'm excited to pick it up soon and read it. The next book on this list is one that I do own, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This follows essentially a student who can travel to different Londons. And there are gray Londons, there's a red London, and that's really all I know. And then, yeah, he's one of the last 2 messengers that can travel between Londons and act as a messenger. And I guess something happens. Perilous magic is afoot and treachery lurks at every turn. To save all worlds, they need to stay alive first. So that's all I know about this book. I'm excited because everyone has had nothing but great things to say about Victoria Schwab and her other works that she has written, and I'm excited to pick those up. But this will be my first introduction to her, and different Londons. There's magic and London, which is one of the cities I've always wanted to go to and hopefully live in the future, but we'll see. So the next book that I have on this list is one that I've actually started, but I haven't had a chance to get into for very much into because I have to read other books, or I've been listening to the audiobook for The Night Circus and I've realized that it takes a lot of my time, and that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is about Leia, who is a slave, and Elias, who is a soldier, and neither one of them are free, and they essentially meet up and start a revolution together against this really terrible kind of government that has been pushing down against Leia's people. That's really all I know. All I know, it's high fantasy, and the 4th book is coming out soon. And Sabaa Tahir is an amazing author, which judging from the chapter or 2 that I have, 3 chapters that I have read of this, I definitely agree. I love high fantasy, and I love the fact that we are seeing more and more diversity in it, especially on the covers. Look at this. This is literally the only reason why I finally picked up the series, is because the cover was so gorgeous, and yeah. That's all I gotta say. These next 2 books have been always compared to The Raven Cycle and with each other. And the first one is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is about a group of students who are studying, and I believe this one is about Shakespeare. It's a weird Shakespeare situation, but mystery thriller where one of them has died. They have to figure out who did it. And yeah, I don't really know much about it other than that. And like I said, I like Shakespeare. I need to get more into his work, so I think I might go ahead and reread his more well-known works, at least his plays, before I jump into this. Yeah, see. They're comparing to Donna Tartt's The Secret History, but super excited. The next book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Like I said, everyone compares this to The Raven Boys, where it's a group of students studying for something and it slowly becomes an obsession, and the next thing you know, something happens and one of the boys is dead and they don't know who, and it involves Greek mythology, and it's literally everything I've wanted in a book. So hopefully I'm starting this within the next few months. I don't know exactly when, since my June TBR is kind of chock full of things that I want to get done and read. But we'll see, hopefully in July. The next book is The Orphanage of the Gods by Helena Coggan. This is about humans who have kind of wiped gods out of their existence, but these gods have put their souls into their children that have left behind, and these children have been since imprisoned, and every time a child kind of shows to have signs of powers, they are taken away to never be seen again. That is until one of these children goes missing and prompts kind of a search for them. It's interesting, and I've been finding more and more Greek mythology based reads, as you guys can tell, so I'm really excited to read more about them and get into them. So if you see more of those things coming up in the future, just know it is because of that. The next book is Ilustrado by Miguel Sui. I'm gonna put the name here because I can't pronounce that, unfortunately, even though it's a Filipino name. But this is about, it's one of the few Filipino authors I've heard about. I haven't read very many Filipino authors, if at all. No, I have. But this one takes place in the Philippines that starts with a corpse in the middle of nowhere, and it's a mystery thriller where the main character is trying to find out what exactly happened. And my friend had recently read it before, and I read her Goodreads review where it kind of talks about encapsulating the spirit of the Filipino culture. So I'm excited to go ahead and read it and see what's going on. The next book is Song of Sacrifice by Janelle Rhiannon, and this is essentially another Greek myth thing situation. It follows all of the, essentially it's part of this Homeric Chronicles that Janelle Rhiannon has been writing, and it involves the voices of the women throughout the Trojan War. And the Trojan War is such an interesting area for me to read about because I have read a ton about it, but I haven't read enough to be really well read on the situation. So I'm excited to see what this kind of brings to the table, fictionalized and otherwise. The next book is The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.J. Drews. I follow them on Twitter. I don't know their pronouns. I'm not going to attempt to know and make a mistake. But essentially, I saw this and I was super excited for them. And it follows about two broken boys who try to find their perfect home and see that, like, you know, there are a lot of secrets and, like, secrets start catching up with them. And I'm excited to see this. It looks really cute and really kind of sad and melancholic. So hopefully I like it, but I need to figure out where to buy it first. The second to last book on this list is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This has been advertised as Project Runway meets Mulan in a high fantasy setting, and really that's all I need to know. And essentially it's she poses as a boy to compete for the role of the Imperial Tailor, and that's all I need to know. Like, I love my Asian fantasies, I love Mulan, and I love fashion, so to have that, I'm excited to see what happens in this book when it comes out. I believe it hasn't come out just yet. And the last book is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is her sophomore novel, and it follows Brie as she kind of tries to become this very famous rapper. Her father was a well-known underground rapper but kind of died before he fully became famous, and now that she and her family are going through financial struggles, she has to go ahead and rush to get those to get famous really quickly for the sake of her family. Pardon the semi-wet hair, poofy wet hair, and like the mascara under my eyes. I'm currently editing this video right now, and I realized I didn't put in my thoughts for On the Come Up, but essentially I'm super excited to read this. Like I said, my friend has read this already, and she has highly recommended it. Granted, I don't need the recommendation because I've already read The Hate You Give, and I love it like so much. And I just know it's going to be such a great book. It's going to have such an important message and kind of bring about a different perspective in kind of their universe, because it is set in the same universe as The Hate You Give. So I'm very excited to pick it up soon. I'm thinking that I'll probably pick it up in the fall. Not because I'm a mood reader and I need to read things by certain like kind of time frames or anything, or like I'm in the mood to read contemporaries in the fall. I just have a lot on my TBR shelves right now. I'm gonna walk over to my shelf, I don't know why, but I just have a lot on my shelves and I need to kind of start clumping them down. So I think the fall time will be a good time for me to do so. But yeah, super excited to pick it up. Have heard nothing but great things about it, and I'm very annoyed at myself for not having it picked up earlier. But let's face it, that's very on brand for me. It is very rare for me to get a book the day it has released or the month it's released and read it right then. Like, I bought Again But Better by Christina Riccio, and I have yet to read it. So there are like literally very few books where I buy it right away and then read it off the bat. Like, I think I've only done that for Queen of Air and Darkness and Daisy Jones and the Six. So hopefully it'll be up in the coming months, but I will have a review of that when that happens. But that is it for the list of books I plan on reading within like probably the next 2 years. I'm gonna say keep myself focused. I get very easily distracted, so this list will change and change like the cycle of the moon. So we'll see. But until then, if you guys want me to like read these books right away and do a review of them, I am planning on reading I Wish You All the Best in June for Queer Lit Readathon, as well as some of the other books that I will be mentioning. Not on this list actually, but I will be planning to pick up these books as soon as I am able. So if any of these guys interest you, please let me know so I can pick them up and I will do a review on them. But until next time, all my social media links will be down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!